Okay, this video is going to take you through how to write pseudocode as you prepare to write the Java code for a particular program. So this is an important first step, so to speak, something you need to do prior to writing the Java code or the source code for a particular program. The reason why this is important is because writing pseudocode takes you through the process of reading and understanding what the problem is that you're trying to solve. Without the ability to understand the problem and write the pseudocode, it will be very difficult for you to write the source code. And so this is something that's good as far as practice goes, is writing pseudocode. So if we look at the fuel status light program, chapter 3b assignment, we look at the directions. The variables fuel amount and fuel capacity hold the actual amount of fuel and the size of the fuel tank of a vehicle. So we have fuel amount is the variable, and then fuel capacity, and they hold fuel amount and the amount of or the size of the fuel tank. In other words, how many gallons it can hold. As the car is being driven, the status light shows a green color until the amount of fuel in the tank goes below 10%. So it's green once it's full, and then as the number of gallons goes down and down and down and down, there's going to reach a point to where it's going to be below 10% of the capacity of the entire fuel tank, and then at that point it will turn red. And so what we want to do is use an if statement to simulate this process by printing or displaying on the screen either red or green. Okay, so the idea with pseudocode in what here is we're looking at what are the choices, what's the decision the compiler needs to make. What are its choices? What are its alternatives? What are its options? What does it want to do? And it has to make a decision on, we're talking about things that the compiler has to make a decision, which of these things do I want to execute, so to speak. And so we've already set it up so it's obvious that there's two choices. It's going to be either this right here or this right here. And then what's going to happen is there's a certain condition that we're looking for that would cause the compiler to do the first one. So if it's false, it will actually do the second branch. So as we look at this, we see that the compiler has to make a decision on what the status light should be. So either it's going to be red or green. We want to simulate this process by printing out either red or green. So that gives you your two choices. And so the first choice could be, what's going to cause it to print green. Now you could actually have it say print red first, either one. So we'll go ahead and do it this way. But again, you can do it either way. And the other one is going to be print red. So those are the two choices. And so we're just writing, pseudocode is just writing things in English, things that you understand, things that demonstrate that you understand what the problem is that you're trying to solve. So the problem is, do I, as a compiler, do I print green or do I print red? Now what is the condition that's going to cause me to print green as a compiler? And so here it says the status light shows a green color until the amount of fuel in the tank goes below 10%. Now, which causes the status light to turn red. This sentence right here, depending on how you think of it, may actually tell you maybe let's make red be the the first choice. I'm going to go ahead and change that. That might be easier to relate to in this situation because of the way the instructions are written. And so let's just say what's going to cause, because it's going to start out when you fill the tank, it's going to start out with the green status light, and it's going to stay green until there's a point to where where the status light's going to change to red. And so that tells you pretty clearly right here. It says until the amount of fuel in the tank goes below 10% of the capacity. And so this is this is the kind of thing where you would, and actually I'm going to make it easier for me to type here, but this is really looking for then, well, what's going to cause it to turn red? Right here is when it gets below 10%. When what gets below? The amount of fuel. So you could say something, the amount of fuel is less than 10% of the capacity. And this is a problem. I'm going to pause the video. Okay, so what we see here then is when the amount of fuel is less than 10% of the capacity of the tank. Now, if you were to write something like this, this would indicate that you understand the problem that's trying to be solved. So if the amount of fuel is less than 10% of the capacity of the tank, so when you fill it up, of course, it's going to be at 100%. But when it gets to 10% or less than 10%, then we want the status light to turn red. So we're going to print red. Otherwise, we're going to print green. All right, so that's how this works. Now, what you would do at this point is you would use that to write your Java code or your source code to make this happen. Now, how do you do that? Well, let's look at the next example and to see how that would work. Because this really was done after we did the 3B assignment, and so we went over this in class as far as what the solution should be. So let's see, let's go like this, and let's go down here and show that a little bit more for the pie sale. Now in the pie sale one, then what we have here is the bakery is holding a pie sale. All pies with the regular price of $10 or more are $3.14 off. All others are $1 off. Write an if statement that calculates and stores the price of a pie in discounted price. Print the discounted price outside of the if statement. Okay, so in this one, what we're doing then is there's a pie sale, and all pies with the regular price of $10 or more are $3 off. Others are $1 off. Right there you see your two choices. The compiler is either going to take $10 off the price, $3.14 off, or it's going to take $1 off. Those are the two. That's the decision. If you just now, this is another thing that might be helpful, is that you put yourself in the situation and run it through in your mind, this particular scenario. In this case, you could be the cashier. Somebody comes up with the price of a pie, and it's $12. You look at that. Well, what are you trying to figure out as far as determining the price? You're looking at that and you're going, okay, am I going to take $3.14 off or $1 off? And so that's what you're thinking. Those are the two things. And so what we can do then is we can say we can say $3.14 off regular price, or we could say $1 off regular price. And then, well, what would cause oh boy, that's really crazy. And so the question is then, what is the condition that would cause the first one to be true? That's what's going to go in here in the if condition part of it. Is what condition has to be true in order to make it be $3.14 off? Well, it says it right in here, right? it says all pies with a regular price of $10 or more are going to be $3.14 off. And so this is then what we would do. We would go if regular price is $10 or more. That's it. When it says $10 or more, then it's going to take $3.14 off the regular price. Otherwise, it's going to be $1 off the regular price. Well, let's just look at how easy this really is then. Is that now what you do is you would now write your code. So in your code then, what would happen is you would write, let's see if I can do this. You would write, all right, if. Now, if let's say you put the regular price in a variable called reg price. Okay, so we go, because I don't think I say it in the instructions. So let's say you have reg price is the name of a variable, it's storing it. So once you enter that regular price, what does it have to be in order to be $3.14 off? It's got to be 10 or more. That means or more, of course, is greater than, but it could be is $10. So it's going to be greater than or equal to. And then 10, and then that's it. So this pseudocode, the part where we just talk in regular English, is translated then to source code, which is Java talk, okay, which the compiler can then read and then convert to bytecode. So if regular price, if reg price, which is the name of a variable, it's a variable call, is greater than or equal to 10, well, then we're going to take $3.14 off the regular price. Well, what does that mean? So in Java code, that means we're going to probably have a, it says write an if statement that is going to calculate and store the price of pi in discounted price. Oh, there's the name of a variable. All right, so so the discounted price is going to hold the whatever the discounted price should be. And so in this, we are going to store or update this, and so discounted price. Now this is going to need to be declared outside of or before the if statement, and so that's one thing you're going to be able to want to make sure. Typically you're not going to you're not going to add a data type, declare it inside the if statement. There are times when that's appropriate. For now, let's not do that until we come up with a situation where we really need to do that in here. So we should then declare that variable up here before the if statement. But the discounted price is going to be equal to or assigned whatever the current discounted price is minus, and of course this is not working out for me, so I'm going to have to pause the video again. And so what we see here is that the discounted price is going to be assigned whatever the current discounted price is oops, I blew that. It's not going to be the discounted price, it's going to be regular price. It's going to be whatever the regular price is, because that's what we're taking the $3.14 from. We're reducing the regular price. So it's going to be whatever the regular price is, and we're going to subtract $3.14, so the customer gets $3.14 off of their regular price. And then the same type of thing is going to happen in the next situation. I'm going to kind of give me some room here. So let's go like this. And so in this case, it's going to be the discounted price, or going to be the regular price minus 1 or minus 1.00. You could do that either way. And so this would be the discounted price. And so that's converting pseudocode to source code or Java code. And then notice the directions say then, so we just used the if statement to calculate and store the discounted price in discounted price. That's what we just did. That's within the confines of the if statement. Then it says print the discounted price outside the if statement. So below here is where we're going to go system.out.println that your discounted price is blah blah blah, and it's going to be whatever the price discounted price is that was calculated within the if statement. All right, now what we did in class then is we opened up pysale.java and used the source code, actually not the source but the pseudocode, to write finish writing that program, finish writing the source code for that program. And so if you missed this class, that could be something that would be good practice for you. Otherwise, this is the end of the video, how to use pseudocode to help you write source code or Java code.